Good afternoon and welcome back to the garden. Now we have missed one that we wanted to do, but the ground was so wet we just couldn't get down there to show you some digging and manuring. So instead this week I'm going to do part one of making the door rings. Now to start with, we'll need one of these ring bases. They're not expensive, but there's no way you could actually make that. And just take it the stage further than that, you can get hearts and crosses all available, and the heart has got a raised piece on it. It straws down exactly the same as the others. I'll do this and I'll be showing you that at a later stage when it's finished. Now we'll get this ring strawed up. Now you start, make sure you've got these Sharpie pieces facing upwards when you start, because if not, if it's on the outside, you'll be catching your fingers on it as you're making the ring. So just pick a... Now I am using string for the straw. You can use the binding wire if you want, but it does tend to rust quite quick, so the less you put on it the better. This has just been spun onto a piece of wood. It's just been spun off the bobbin onto a piece of wood, because that'll untangle itself and you'll have a right mess when you keep doing it straight off the ball. So here we go. The straw is just barley straw. You get it from the pet shop, and I like this one because it's always dry and it's soft, so, and clean. And you just take a handful and start going round. I do it to about the size of my hand when it's on there, and you literally just keep putting the straw on like that. It looks a mess, but don't worry. And then sending the string over. Makes quite a mess, so you want to be doing it outside if possible. Don't do it in the kitchen. Just keep going round. So I'll go round and I'll see you when I get to there, because we go again to make it nice and tight. We're just getting back to where we started, but don't worry, it'll make sense in a minute. Right, it looks terrible, but we go round again now, keeping my hand tight to it. And what you find is, as we go, we're pushing the straw forward and down. I'll show you in a moment, you'll see it. My string always unfolds itself as we're going round, but it'll be alright. So keep pushing the straw forward with your hand, and it lays flat then. Can you see? Look, that's what we take it from that to that. So as we go round, and I'll meet you when I tie off. I've been round twice and that looks enough. Push your string through and tie it off. Pair of scissors, cut that off. I told you my string would unroll. Right, now it still looks a little bit loose on the edge. Look, we can't do with that, so you get your scissors and you just go round, take those off. Good pair of scissors soon does it. See, like that. Do one side, then I turn it over. Just be careful you don't cut your string though. I shall have to redo that bit, and believe me, it's easily done. Not too exact, because we are going to put conifer on it anyway, but it just stops it from sticking through the conifer if you just go round. Turn it over, do the back. That's it. When we got it to this stage now, you just go round and press it flat. And that's ready now for conifering up. Now we're ready to what we call basing out. That's putting the conifer on. You'll need binding wire, cheap enough binding wire. Careful when you're using it, because if you get it between your knuckles and you're pulling, it will cut. Secateurs and a pair of pliers, just in case you have to pull this tight. Use the pliers instead of using this. Right, to start, thread the binding wire through the frame at the back, and what we do, we give it a twist round like that, and then we go over and back out, and then make sure anything sharp on the wire is pushed into the straw. Then you go over and under. Now this tag here that's sticking up of the binding wire, you turn that over and push it into the straw, then it's not going to stick in you or anybody else. The conifer we're going to use is that you saw outside, and I've cut it into lengths 3 or 4 inches, as you can see, and then I've mixed it so we get different colours coming through all the time. As you can see, there's green and yellows and all sorts. Some, if you turn it over, it's green, and turn it the other way, it's blue. So you can mix and match as you make it. The spruce and the Christmas tree I should put on the edge of the ring, one or the other, I don't know which one, but it's probably going to be a spruce, this one. At distances around the ring as we build it. Start, just take a loose pile, and remember it's mixed, so keep it mixed as you go. And to start it, I get a little bit in my hand like that, different colours, etc. And then I put it there, making sure we go just beyond the wire, about 1 inch, no more, and we've got a nice top, because when we come to finish we'll need to lift this up to finish underneath and then lay it back. So, and once you've got that started, you just go round. Now what I find is, over the years of making these things, if you put plenty on the sides, yeah, and just a covering on the top, because once you start building the ring, you don't really see the top again, so it's no good putting a lot of conifer there. It's the sides that you want to build up. So just put that on, hold that, and then start. Now if it's got a bit of wood on, just push it in. That helps with the holding down of everything, you see. And then a little bit, if it's long, pull it this way a bit so they're all the same size, more or less, going over. And once you've built this side up like that, remember there's quite a bit on the sides and not a lot on the top. It helps. Then we'll put a bit of blue spruce on these, I think. You just put them on, a big one on the outside, small one on the inside, and then take your wire over, level out with your hand and pull, then go over again. And what I find is if you do it a third time, it locks it all down and it will look after itself for a bit. Can you see this one that was long? Normally I just tie that in, but we'll take it off today. And then off again. Start with a good group on the inside. A bit of different colour, nice bit of yellow in there, look. That's it. Now we need to cover that one like we covered the wire. So you see there's the wire there, and that's got a nice cover. Pull the blue spruce through a bit, little bit on top just to cover it. That one's got wood on it, look, so that can go in. There you are. We'll put that way around. You see? And then build the side. Now some of it has got little tiny seed heads on, but normally if you don't want them on, take them off, but no, I just carry on and you'll find that most of them get knocked off anyway. Nice piece on the side there. Nice bit of colour to get. That one's too small. Let's reject that. There you go. Now where I put spruce there, I missed this one and put spruce on the next one. And remember, once you've done your first one, spread it out a bit and pull. Not too tight, obviously, you'll not get anything else in. And then a third one. And your third line over brings you down far enough to start the next one looping across. I'll do one more where I put the spruce in, and then I'll finish round to there. And believe me, you need a lot of conifer. And you see that one, look, it's covered in seed heads. I won't put that on the inside because it might get in the way. See how you got a blue and a bit of yellow there. It's just a case of putting them, turning them over sometimes, that's enough. Can you see? Put that in there. And then go across the top. Sometimes you pick a good one up and you can, and not that's no good one. You pick a good one up and it covers it better. Remember, if it's too long, let it go past. Nearly there. That's a good one, look. And while we're there, take that one out of that. We'll put a bit more of this blue spruce in. Long one on the outside. And the shorter one, if we've got one, that one, on the inside, like that. And then remember, over, pull a little bit and then spread things out. Put your hand on top and pull it. So it's got it all down tight. Then let's go around, comb it out a bit. Make sure your spruce can be seen. And that's it. Now I shall continue this all the way around until we're on the finishing one, and then show you how I finish it. Now I've gone all the way around and we're back to the beginning now. So I want to show you how I finish them. It's a case of pulling this back and building one on there, so when it goes back over it'll cover up again. So we just pull that over. What I do is usually hold that with my hand so I can use my fingers to hold that in. It's not too difficult. And then the same as normal, just keep layering in. Plenty on the inside, obviously. Remember, if it's got a piece of wood on it, use the wood and push it into the string of the base, and it'll be fine. All the way over. And the last, yeah, we will need a spruce in this one. Get that well packed down this side. Yeah, that's fine. We'll have a bit of spruce in it. Add that like that. And the small one, if I can find one. There you are, small one there to go on the inside. Pin them in with your fingers, and then over we go. Pull it. Then again, hold this back. And do a third. Then as you come up, put it over your thumb, through underneath, and then tie off. And the absent, oh, I've got some here, so we'll be alright. Try not to snip it with your secateurs, you'll blunt them. Turn all the sharp ends over, push them in, then push that back, sort it all out. It takes a minute or two to settle, and then that's it, nearly done. Now we've got it all conifered over, or based as we call it. Now what we do now is literally bend it outwards just a fraction, just to take those bits down to the edge. And then when you've done that, the same as what we did to the straw ring, you just press it like that. So you've got this nice flat top what we're going to work on. Now we need to put the cones on. We'll have a block of three cones on. Ideally, it's best to put the cones onto pine branches, but what I find is that the needles of the pine are so long or so brittle that you can't really work it into the ring. If you could get something like, there's a pine called mungo, which is a miniature, and it's very, very slow growing, so I don't think you'd get the amount of pine you'd need to do this amount of rings. We'll use the blue spruce, but you can use anything you can get hold of to do it, even if it's just straight conifer. The cones we're going to use are, I think there's a couple of different ages here. Obviously that one's an older cone than that, but when you pick them up you don't really know. But they're all reasonably the same size. That's what you want to look for, and not too much damage on them. A little bit of damage doesn't matter, but if there's a lot, I'm afraid there'll be no good. So they're ready. I'm going to use blue spruce. So what we'll do, we'll put the pine cones onto blue spruce. There's two. You've got to make sure you get it the right way around. If you put that one on there and that one on there, that'll be fine. So I'll do one with you so you can see how it's done. Now what I do is take the cone. Now make sure there's plenty of length on that wire before you start tying, else you'll be struggling when you come to put them onto the ring. Take it round like that, and then pinch it tight to the cone, not too tight, there look, and then give your cone a few twists, and that holds that on. Then you take your next one, which is this one, hold it the same way round, not as that, and you go into that, a little bit of a gap between them, and then you twist that on, and then leave them facing both the same way like that. Move that wire away and keep the wire going on the bobbin. And you take your third one and same again. This time we'll go there, look, so the same way in your hand, and then round and leave it so there's a little bit of a gap between them, and spin it off, and you find that they'll hold like that quite well. So then there they are, look. Then I've just put a knot in that just to hold everything steady. We'll put 2 on that, and then start another one, but leave it open, you see. Then we take the spruce, that's the way we want it, and we reverse it so when we're finished the spruce will be the right way round. Pull it, don't pull too tight because it will cut through that spruce. Put another one on it, and same again, start one and hold like that. Then we take the other bit of spruce, get it the right way round, go in, pull back a bit so that it holds itself, just tighten it down like that, turn it over and pull another knot in, and that's safe now. Tidy it up, and what we'll do now, we've got spruce there and there. This is where we'll start. Press it flatter if you can, and then that will sit on there beautifully, look, like that. Try and do it so that the bigger piece of blue spruce is outside and the smaller one is inside. Pull the wire, the binding wire, so it goes all through the conifer, etc., and underneath, and then hold it with your hand at the bottom and turn over. Now what we do now, you can see why you needed that long length now, look, because that's all we got left. So we pull that tight on a knot and then twist it round, then take the bobbin back down. There's your bobbin coming up, look, and then take your bobbin through the cones. This is actually going to hold these firm because they do wobble about a bit, and then back to the back. Find the wire which is there, and we'll put a knot in it, and this is where the pliers come in, so I can pull that tight without it cutting into my hand. I can use the bobbin this side to pull with, and then spin it over, put a few turns on it. Then what I do is I fold that over and keep twisting so it makes a nice finish. And then the 2 bits of wire which are there, we cut those off with the pliers. Sometimes they're cut, sometimes that's it. Now those 2 bits of wire we got there, we turn. Can you see that turning? And push that into the straw. That's important, because if you leave them stuck up and somebody puts this on the door and the wind blows it about a bit, it will scratch the door badly. So make sure to put those in. Back over, tidy up. We've got the 3 groups of cones ready to put on the ring. Now what I find, well, now this is very approximate, that if you go to about 9 inch across, centre to centre, about 9 inch, with them being 12-inch rings, they're usually 9 inches the distance apart, just to keep everything in so it looks nice at the finished ring. That's the main thing. Pull those round, get them in position. Just one last measure. Yeah. So I'll put these on and then I'll show you it finished. Now that is the ring based and coned. The next video we'll put groups of holly on it, green holly, and then centre it with variegated holly and a berry. Now we use plastic berries because if we use real berries, which we've got plenty by the way, the birds come and take them. So we'll let the birds take what we leave on the bushes and we'll put plastic ones on there. We'll put the holly at one side of that and the other side we'll put some ivy using the flowers and some of the leaves to make a nice section, and then between the two we'll put some baubles, either red or gold, whichever we're using that day. Then when we've done that we'll put the ribbon on the top. That'll be all in the next one. That's the hardest part done. So that's it. That's door ring making part 1. So we'll see you next time where we'll start the rest. Do have a go at making them if you can. Remember, it's more of a point, but if you decide to do it, is to have a look round and see what material you can get to build it. So you don't have to use everything we've got. You could make quite a nice one in box. I've seen them made beautifully using box, like box hedging. Anything you can get, and then build your ring on the material you've got available. See you next time everyone. Take care. Bye now.